Hello, my name is Lakshmi Om, and I'm the founder and director of the Flourish Center for Somatic Healing. And today we're continuing on our series about pre and perinatal psychology to talk about the 7 core principles of pre and perinatal psychology. So these come from the founders, Dr. William Emerson, Dr. David Chamberlain, the primary founders here. And these 7 principles really represent the holistic view of pre and perinatal psychology, especially around the baby's experience. And these are really important for us to understand as we're gaining more focus on who we really are as humans and how our earliest experiences influence the rest of our lives and why those experiences are so important, as well as the fact that we can go back and enhance or heal those experiences at any time. So the first principle is that conception, pregnancy, and birth are a natural process. That the development, basically, let's just say it this way, is that our bodies know how to do it. When our bodies, both mom and baby, are given the right support, the right nutrition, the right information, that really ground into the wholeness of our being, that birth can be a natural process. I'm not going to use the word easy, but it can be much safer and much more of a natural flow for a mom, where she can be trusting her own body, trusting her caregivers, and trusting her baby. Did you know that babies participate in birth? Did you know that? They push with their feet, they move their heads, they find their way down. They actually even figure out, oh, I can't go that way, I need to go this way. They're part of it, right? Maybe even you did that. And as we're in the womb and as we're forming, and our brain is forming, the connections made at that time through our experiences begin to form the structure of our brain, right? That's that implicit memory that babies learn through experience, and they're having experiences from conception forward, in utero, right? Explicit memory, learning, talking, right? That only starts out after about 18 months of age, right? So the second principle is that pregnant moms and babies share experiences, and I'm going to add dads into that too. So because babies can sense, they can sense what a mother's feeling. They can hear her heartbeat. They can feel, a mother is having joy, and then the baby participates in that. They can feel her heart rate, her breathing, her digestion. They can feel her emotions. Babies are experiencing what mom experiences. And even dad, they can sense outside of the mom-baby unit. They can hear dad's voice, the tone of his voice. Our system's attuned to a certain kind of vocal pattern as being safe or unsafe, right? Babies can feel tension between mom and dad. Babies can feel harmony between mom and dad. Babies can feel in utero wanted or not wanted. So I spoke about this a little in my previous video, which is why it's so important for parents to differentiate their stuff from baby, even in utero, right? That this is ours, these are my fears, this is my anger, this is not yours. You are fine, I love you, you're doing great, right? Maybe we'll be able to tell that. Third concept is babies are conscious, aware, and expressive. They learn from every experience. They learn mom's voice. They learn what mom eats, right? Through tasting, they swallow the amniotic fluid, which will have the essence of what mom eats. And then they'll get used to the breast milk, because the breast milk will have the essence of what mom eats in it too. That they move their faces after birth, especially. They're very attuned to lock in on a face, to know if they're safe or not, to feel connection, right? Fourth principle, babies need loving support for optimum development, right? That there's lots of different kinds of nourishment. Dr. Bruce Perry even said that the first 2 months after birth are the most integral. If the baby doesn't get secure nourishment, physical nourishment, touch, connection, safety, that it literally changes how their brains form. And you can see that babies that are seriously neglected or abused in those first 2 months have smaller brains, and definitely delays in development and understanding. So I will take that even further back. It's not just those first 2 months, that it's actually in development as well. That babies need consistency. They need to be felt and seen and understood, and to have intention, that the parents have the intention to connect with the baby, right? That you talk out loud, that you feel them, that you love them. It doesn't start after birth, right? Principle number 5, the first relationship lays the foundation for all future relationships. How our brains develop around connection. And this is from the polyvagal system, polyvagal theory, is our social engagement system, right? Is once babies are born and they're looking at your face and they're reading your voice and they're looking at your eyes and they're looking for your voice to have a natural kind of lift and fall. That's called prosody. They're looking for safety in your eyes. They're looking for relaxation, right? And they'll look at you for as long as they can, and then they'll look away. And then they'll look back at you. Oh, there you are again. You're there. You didn't go away, right? That's teaching them trust and self-regulation. They'll stay with you as long as they can, and then they need a break. And then they'll come back, right? But this relationship starts in utero with how they are related to, and also what mom and dad are feeling. You know, babies really pick up on that. So if mom is stressed, if mom is in danger, if there's disharmony between them, that's teaching the baby about relationship. If mom doesn't want the baby, if dad doesn't want the baby, all right, well, I'm not wanted here. The world is not a safe place. And that's the foundation of their viewpoint. Really, unless life proves otherwise, consistently, that will be their viewpoint throughout the rest of their life, unless you go back in and do repair. Secure attachment. Dr. Dan Siegel says this. Secure attachment is resilience. It's like creating immunity against disease. Resilience is like, secure attachment is resilience against stress. So a child that has this consistent connection, not perfect, but regular, predictable, consistent, that you show up, that you take time, that you slow down, you connect, you listen, you love, you make repair. Children that have this feel like they can come to their parents, but that they can also go out and explore. And when they need their parents, they come in, and when they're ready, they go out and explore, right? And that develops confidence and empowerment and curiosity. And that secure child will then seek out secure relationships. So when building this kind of connection in utero or after birth, slow down. Use your intention, take your time. After birth, eye contact. Lift and lower your voice. Hello. Right? Be very aware of your facial expression. Touch. Touch communicates, right? Excuse me. The sixth principle is the baby's experience dramatically affects the development of the baby's brain. Like, how is their brain developing? They're not learning like the way we think of ABCs and reading and nouns and verbs and all of that. Then how is their brain forming? Their brain is forming literally through their direct experience. So every experience in utero is part of forming their brain. And experience determines which genes express in the formation of their body, their brain. Just because a gene is there, it doesn't mean it gets turned on. Experience, environment determines that. So there's an array of possibility with all of our genes, but it's experience that chooses from that array that determines which genes are turned on. And then the last one is that imprints from early life, conception forward, can be enhanced, right? So positive ones, things we really want, right? Or transformed, healed at any time. Because of the neuroplasticity of the brain, because we can bring these implicit memories before 18 months forward, right? Or even any traumatic memories also put into explicit. A lot of our emotional memories put into implicit, all of that is implicit. We bring it into the forefront of our mind, into our explicit experience, into prefrontal cortex, and then we can rework it, repair it, reimagine it, and then it drops back down into long-term memory, completely different. The story may or may not be the same, but the charge around it will definitely be different, right? We can fill in the missing pieces of what we didn't get. We can bring in autonomy and boundaries, and there's just so many different possibilities to round out the wholeness of what we really needed and wanted in any given situation, even in utero, right? So think about it this way. We're going to do an exercise. This is from DARE. DARE is a form of its dynamic attachment repatterning experience. This is the work of my teacher and friend, Diane Poole-Heller. And this exercise is called Kind Eyes. So see if you can imagine someone in your life who really had your back, who really saw you. And they were excited for you, and they believed in you. And not everybody has had this experience, so you could imagine someone. You can use a superhero or a TV character. You can make it up, right? But think about what their face would look like when they are so proud of you, when their eyes are beaming and gleaming love at you, just pouring it from their heart out their face and their eyes to you. I love you. You're amazing. And then notice how much of that you can take in. One molecule could feel like a lot for some people who didn't have this in their early life. Maybe you can take in 5% and just feel that and notice what happens in your body. Right? This is nourishment. And this can be a repair. You can imagine that person's face beaming and gleaming at you as a baby, or you as a young child? Right? Is there an age from when you were little that could really benefit from these kind eyes? Imagine that love being beamed into you at a young age. And that young part of you can just take it in and trust it. This. And it's okay if it's hard. Practice it in little tiny bits. Practice taking in one molecule, 1%. And if you take in 1%, maybe after a few moments you can take 1% more. These kind eyes beaming and gleaming at you. You're important. You're wanted. You belong here. You matter. Your thoughts and emotions matter. I'm here for you. Just notice what happens. You can even do this as your adult self for your young self. That can be really powerful. So sometimes we have sadness comes up, sometimes we have anger come up, sometimes it's joy. Then we can feel it all the way into our heart. Everybody's experience will be different, and it may be different as we look at different ages of ourselves, right? So I encourage you to journal about your experience with kind eyes. And remember that all of these young parts are still within you, right? They're in your brain, they're in your body. Some of the tension that you hold can be from back then. It's not just, from yesterday, right? This is the kind of work I do every day. So if you want help, if you want guidance through this process with your young parts, with your early self, with yourself as a baby in utero, this attachment work with your family, reach out, let me know. You can reach me at the Flourish Center Somatic.com, where you can, my number's on there, my email's on there, you can reach out, or you can just go ahead and book an appointment or a consultation and we can talk, okay? Yeah, be gentle with your young selves. Give them what they didn't get. All right, take care.